For today's grim adventure, we find ourselves in a place known as Point Pleasant, West Virginia, otherwise known as Mothman Country. You see, today we're going to be spending the entire day exploring this town as well as some of the hillside, like the woods, in search of sites that are closely associated with the Mothman. It really feels like we have this entire place to ourselves, which is awesome because every year they have something known as the Mothman Festival, where thousands of people come down here to Point Pleasant, West Virginia in search of the Mothman, getting some Mothman pancakes, getting their picture with the Mothman statue, and just seeing sights. It's a big, big thing. But the place is ours for the day. My question to you is this: what do you know about the Mothman? Is it the movie, the Mothman Prophecies that you've seen that enlightened you? You know, the one starring Richard Gere? Or are you familiar with the local legend and the lore of the Mothman? Basically a bad omen. Whenever you see him, death is sure to follow. Whether or not you believe in the Mothman as a creature, or that this entire region is cursed, there's one thing for certain: tragedy has struck here. Now, to name a few, 1907, there was a coal mine disaster where 310 miners were killed. 1944, 150 people were killed when a tornado ripped through the tri-state area. 1967, right here in Point Pleasant, there was a bridge that connected Ohio to West Virginia. It collapsed, killing 46 people. 1968, an airplane crashed, killing 35 people on board. In 1970, another airline crash, killing 75 people. In 1976, there was a big explosion at the prison nearby that killed 2 people as well as some guards. 1978, a freight train derailed and dumped thousands of toxic chemicals. Actually, that's been happening quite a bit in like Ohio, hasn't it? You know, I don't know about a winged creature flying through the skies, terrorizing people, but it really does sound like this region, this area, has a curse. Like there might be some truth to it, right? You see, not only is Point Pleasant known because of the Mothman, but there is a lot more history here than meets the eye that nobody really talks about. And right here by the river, there's these beautiful giant murals on the wall that talk about it. Now, obviously we're here because of the Mothman, so we're not going to delve too much into the history of the region, but we do have to talk about it somewhat because of one figure, a man by the name of Chief Cornstalk. A lot of people believe that it's actually Chief Cornstalk who put the curse on Point Pleasant, or more importantly, put the curse on the region. Now that's his statue on the left-hand side. And way, way back in the day, there used to be a fort here, and he was kind of like an ally, if you will, trying to smooth over waters, if you will. And he was murdered in the prison cell. He shouldn't have been, but he was. And the local legend, the local lore is before he died, he actually voiced a curse. Standing here talking about Chief Cornstalk, I'm not gonna lie, I find myself keep saying Old Chief Woodenhead from the Creepshow series. But if you think about it, local legend, local lore, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Seeing the statue, I can understand the connection because Old Chief Woodenhead in Creepshow, he's a wooden statue that comes to life to get justice for a wrongful murder. And if you think about it, isn't that just what a curse is?
As promised, that's all we're going to talk about when it comes to the history of Point Pleasant. From here, it's going to be all the spookier side, the monster side, the Mothman creature side. Our first stop in town brings us to the Mothman statue, which if you've ever met us in person, whenever people ask us if we've ever been here, years and years and years and years and years ago I was here, and I tell people every time I see the statue, I think of Burt Reynolds, and it's because of the chest hair that's on the statue. Let's get up close and personal with the Mothman himself, well, the statue. And standing here, you can see what I mean. You see the chest hair? It's awesome, right? Look at this.
I'm totally having my own Monster Squad moment right now because you know when the kid says Wolfman has nards? Well, Mothman's got cheeks. See?
Yeah, that's a pretty big booty. Now, typically, I don't like reading plaques on camera, especially whenever they're long, but this one is warranted, right? Legend of the Mothman. On a chilly fall night in November 1966, two young couples drove into the TNT area north of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, when they realized they were not alone. What they saw that night has evolved into one of the great mysteries of all time, hence the Mothman legacy began. It has grown into a phenomenon known all over the world by millions of curious people asking questions. What really happened? What did these people see? Has it been seen since? It still sparks the world's curiosity, the mystery behind Point Pleasant, West Virginia's Mothman. Now let's talk about the collapse of the Silver Bridge, which basically put Point Pleasant on the map in terms of the Mothman sightings. So this road right here, it goes down towards the river and it turns left towards Main Street. You can see this truck going down there, making that turn. But back in the day, before the collapse, you used to be able to go straight across the river and over into Ohio. So the road today is now a parking lot. And at the very back, they have this really nice mural of the bridge, almost like you're taking the bridge to nowhere, if you will. Again, where the Silver Bridge once stood is now a parking lot. And what's nice is right at the entrance to the parking lot, there is a historic plaque that talks about the Silver Bridge collapse. Now, I should point out that it really wasn't known as the Silver Bridge. I mean, that wasn't its name. But the locals called it the Silver Bridge because of the silver aluminum color, the paint. Rush hour collapse on December 15th, 1967 resulted in 31 vehicles falling into the river, the cold river, killing 46 and injuring 9. The more we look at the site, the more we're seeing that there's a lot more plaques here. This one's directly below that white one that we're just showing. It says site of Silver Bridge collapse when 46 lives were lost, December 15th, 1967. So what we're looking at right now is the backside of the parking lot. You can see that mural on that back wall. Now we're going to walk over there in just a moment, but before we do that, I want to point out a few different things. The first one being, you see where Jessica's standing? I don't know for certain, but that kind of looks like that's probably a piece of the original road or the original bridge. It's really, that's all that's left. I did hear that on like low tide, like whenever the water in the river's low, you can actually see parts of the old bridge too. Now, the other thing I want to point out, when we started this video, the opening, we were actually standing on the other side of this wall, just up against the water. Crazy, right? And if I turn the camera down this way to the right, you're going to see that trestle. We showed that at the beginning of the video as well.
I like that each plaque that we discover has a little bit more information. This one says it happened at 4:58 p.m. due to heavy rush hour traffic and holiday season traffic. That makes sense. And it was the result of a hairline crack and a steel eye bar.
It feels like at any moment it's going to start raining, like the dam is about to break, which is amazing because it's been so hot and sunny. sweating our butts off, and then it's going to start pouring. Well, hopefully we can get this video done before that happens. But just look at that painting. You can just imagine what this was like. And then the tragedy that happened. Now, I will say this. I'm going to go ahead and back up and try to take it all in. You can see Jessica over there. It was reported that at least, I think it was like a week, maybe more, leading up to the collapse of the Silver Bridge, that people saw the Mothman. There was sightings leading up to the disaster. So was it people's imaginations, or did it really happen? Now, there's a smaller plaque over here. It does say something completely different. I love filming in the rainy weather, indeed. So let's see here. In memory of 46 souls who lost their lives on December 15th, 1967, we still feel a sense of awe and sadness when we hear the name Silver Bridge. You can imagine. The city of Point Pleasant. Man. Now, of course, the big draw in downtown Point Pleasant is the world's only Mothman Museum. And we got to go inside. So into the museum we go. The museum entrance here. So they have a little bit of everything here. And like I said, years ago I was here, but I don't remember it being this big. I feel like it was a lot smaller whenever I first came here. Now, of course, we're going to walk around. We're going to showcase something. We're not going to showcase everything, but we want you to see some of the really crazy cool things that are on display here. And then you got to come and check it out yourself. Maybe during the Mothman Festival, get yourself some Mothman pancakes. So just a quick walk around right now. Oh my word. Look at that. All right, if they'd let me put this Mothman costume on, I would do it in a heartbeat. What you're looking at right now are original handwritten depositions written by witnesses who saw the Mothman out in the abandoned TNT area. We're going to go out there in a little bit, but this is what they saw, explaining what they saw. November 15th, 1966. Because it's written in cursive, it's a little hard to read. But don't worry, because right above it, they actually have it typed out so you can read every single word. There's 6 pages of it. You know what? There's actually more. The first 6 pages are from one person. They have 3 accounts up here on display. And then on the other side, they have a bunch of original newspapers talking about the sightings, as well as the bridge collapse. This is cool that they have all of this. Like, wow. Even in the 70s and 80s, there's some very reliable. This is just one of the many displays of original newspaper clippings. There's more. You can see Jessica on the other side of the room looking at that side, and then another display directly right behind her. It makes sense that they would have newspaper clippings about the bridge's collapse, and there's a lot of them. HA photographers captured grim atmosphere of bridge disaster. The newspaper clippings for the bridge disaster goes on and on. I mean, they just have cases full of them. The Silver Bridge tumbles. Wow. Salvage workers probe icy Ohio River for victims of Silver Bridge collapse. December 17th, 1967 is the date. 8 known dead, 100 are feared lost. You know what? I think one of my personal favorite things inside the museum here are all these little Mothman trinkets. Looks like some of them are handmade, but some of them are probably bought from different stores throughout time. I'm not gonna lie, I want a collection of Mothman relics. There's just so much to look at. Now here's a question for you guys. Have you seen the movie The Mothman Prophecies? If not, you should. It's actually a pretty good movie. And when you come here to the museum, not only do they have original newspaper clippings and things from the town, but they also have movie props and things on display from the movie. Let's get a closer look at this because I think this has to be my favorite part of the movie props. It says Smith Hutchings Collection, artist from the Mothman Prophecies movie. The art from the movie was very, very nightmarish. And they have the original art here. This is cool. I want it. This one says Mothman Test Effect, Special Effects 2001, smashed glass used in Deborah Messing's car crash scene. Oh yeah, if you didn't know this, the Mothman Prophecies stars Deborah Messing and Richard Gere. Gotta watch it. And how fitting is this? They actually have one of the clapperboards from the Mothman Prophecies here in the museum. And it looks like it's from the scene, the Silver Bridge, well, the collapse, filmed March 11th, 2001 in Katanning. And you know how we feel about photo opportunities? Jessica found one where you actually get to be the victim being snatched up by the Mothman. There you go. You gotta take your hat off and your head fits. This place just goes on and on and on. Like right now we're in like an old diner. Right? Look above Jessica.
Everett Wedge was one of the community's most upstanding and respected citizens.
In every corner of this place, they have something.
20 eyes now, but
Oh my word.
At 7:15 a.m. on November 25th.
Now, of course, they have a gift shop, so we had to buy a few things, but Jessica bought something very, very special. Go ahead, put it on. Oh, I love it. You now have a Mothman hat. We're having so much fun walking the streets of Point Pleasant. Like, this is an incredible experience. Baby, look at this. All right, if you don't know this, I am a cookie-aholic. And this says home of the Mothman cookie. I need to get a cookie. I gotta try the Mothman cookie. This thing is massive. Look at this. It's basically a sugar cookie with icing. And holding it up, it's basically true to size. So it turns out these cookies are handmade here at the coffee grinder. And they are massive. It's a sugar cookie. When we walked in there, they had a whole bunch behind the counter. Look at this thing. All right. Yeah, sugar cookie indeed. Baby, you gotta try this. It's so good. It's fresh too. You know, a lot of times whenever you get sugar cookies, especially like in a display case, they're kind of stale. These are fresh and delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
So just a heads up, this place is called the Coffee Grinder. Come down here, get yourself a Mothman cookie. And you ready for it? Did it turn our tongues green? So right now, we are somewhere on Potter Creek Road. And you see this little guardrail up here? Just past it, down this pathway is the TNT igloo, which is what we came here to look for. Oh, look at this. See what it says on the guardrail? Get a little closer. Beware, he's here. Looking at the guardrail closer, you can see that anybody who's come out here to visit has left some sort of sign that they are here. Of course, it says beware, he's here. But check this out. There's a couple Mothman art pieces that are here. There's that one, then right down here towards the bottom. Oh man, that's cool. Now here's the thing about the abandoned TNT area and the TNT igloo that we're about to show you guys. You see, back in the 60s, there were two couples living here in Point Pleasant who were out here in the woods exploring. And both of them, both couples, completely separate, had an encounter with the Mothman. They seen him. It scared them that they went back to town and they told the sheriff about it. The sheriff came out here and he was unable to find anything. But here's the thing. Their stories kind of made national news. And then everybody started going, wait a second, what is happening out here at Point Pleasant? This place really does make you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, doesn't it? I mean, once you know where this place is, where the TNT igloo is, it's pretty easy to get back here, but can you imagine getting lost? I mean, there's this beautiful pond. It's got some algae in it. There's turtles, dragonflies. We even saw a baby deer out here on the trail. Now, straight ahead is where we parked the car. We walked right down this way, and then look at this. Right over here, hidden in the brush, is a little entranceway that goes back to what is known as the TNT igloo. And because it rained, there is some mud. Oh man. This is cool. Baby Goal, you gotta check this out. Come here and look at this. Just wait till you see this place, Baby Goal. Right?
That's pretty cool.
Now, of course, we have our deadlights with us. You have yours that hold it up. No, I'm not turning it on just yet, and here's mine. Because inside it is pitch black. We're gonna go inside, light up the deadlights, and just explore a little bit.
I can hear you from there.
Right, the echo is crazy.
That's creepy.
All right, I'm gonna go in without the deadlights on first.
Ooh, brave.
Oh man. Oh, the echo. Oh, the echo is so bizarre. How years ago, well before Grim Life Collective became a YouTube channel, I came out here and I photographed this place and I wrote about it for the channel.
Ew.
Just let the echo happen. You hear the echo of your footsteps?
I sound like I have frog feet. This is horrifying.
The echo inside this place is crazy. Like, in order to understand each other, we have to talk very slowly, which makes this all seem like a dream. We had to turn both deadlights off because the light coming in from the door makes it feel like we're in the movie Coraline. Right? Knowing that people were out here exploring this abandoned area and then they saw the Mothman. It's pretty surreal. And the echo is so intense that it kind of gives this like wobbling effect. I feel almost dizzy. Even our breath has an echo. Again, this is a dome. And that light that you're seeing at the bottom of your screen, that's the entrance. You can see the hole up there in the top. If this isn't disturbing enough, we got to show you something. Over here, towards the back of the dome, the floor is cracking, like it's opening up. You see the crack? In fact, when you get over on the other side, the ground tilts back a little bit. So God forbid, if something were to happen, this whole place would come tumbling down on you. What do you think, baby ghoul? This is wild, right? Are you getting dizzy? A little nauseous, you can see your breath. In a way, it kind of feels like we're in the further, doesn't it? It's so pitch black even with our lights. And then whenever we step outside, all the echo goes away. Loving these deadlights. Loving them. Now, baby ghoul, when we were inside the igloo, you were telling me about a Mothman sighting that you've actually had. And of course, inside, the echo was so crazy that we decided to wait until we're out here. So let's hear it.
This was long before I knew about Mothman. And if I'm being honest, I still don't know that much, so take it with a grain of salt. But once I started hearing how people describe what they believed to be Mothman sightings, I was like, oh, I have one of those. Long story short, I was standing on the banks of I believe it's the Missouri River. I'm from St. Charles, Missouri, and we used to go fishing in this one spot where the banks are extremely high and they're, two embankments are separated by a really deep crevasse. And it's heavily wooded. You wouldn't go there unless you knew about it, or you would go adventuring in the woods. It's very thick, a lot like this, but thicker, if you can imagine that. And one night, I don't know why, me and my sister decided to go out there and just look at the moon, right? From where we're standing on the bank of the river, we look over to our left, and on the other side of the crevasse, higher than a human being would be, we saw two red dots, lights. They didn't move. It was too dark to see a figure. It was very pitch black at night. And to this day, it has haunted me. It gives me the creeps every time I think about it, because it couldn't have been another person. And we'd been out there long enough that we didn't hear anybody walk up. There's no animals, no disturbances, just all of a sudden we're being watched by these two pair of red eyes. I was chicken. I got out of there, never to look back. Hardly ever even spoke about it to another person before.
Until today.
Until today. And it still gives me the willies.
With that being said, thank you for joining us on another grim adventure, this time to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, tracking down the Mothman. Until next time, happy Halloween. We would use our hands like our spooky hands, but today we got our deadlights. Happy Halloween.
Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. A bad luck's always coming my way.